What's good? What's good? What's good? What's popping? Uh, I'm not gonna go into too much details in this game. I actually saw a game yesterday, but I will say this in Miami Heat's defense: for all y'all Heat fans out there, if you really look at the Miami Heat's regular season, the way they started to the way they ended, Miami Heat is not really a good home team. They're really not. I mean, if you look at the way they snuck, well, not really snuck in, but, they had to win their last, 10, 8, 7 games to get in. I knew there was a few teams that was behind them, like the Hornets, obviously without Melo Ball. There was the Pelicans without Zion. I mean, there was a few teams, but the Miami Heat snuck in, and the rest was history. Now, the way I see this shaping is, I think Miami Heat is going to win Game 5. I really do. It's going to take the next following game for the Nuggets to actually win. And the reason why I say that is because Miami Heat is very good on the road for some strange reason. If you look at their home record, they're not really good. They're not really a home. They're not really a good home team. They're more dangerous when they're on the road. As you can see, they took Game 2. A lot of people thought Nuggets was going to go 0-2, but they took Game 2. So Miami Heat likes that hostile environment, and I'm not here to make any excuses. Denver Nuggets is playing great, but obviously, just like Superman, everybody has a weakness, right? Everybody has a weakness. So, what am I expecting out of Jimmy, Bam, and the others? Just play solid basketball. Just play fundamental basketball. Don't do anything too cute. Just play the way that brought you here. Jimmy need to be more aggressive and stop passing. Like every 5 seconds, he's passing. I get it. He wants to get everybody involved, but you got to go say, bump all that and just take the game over like you did against Boston, against the Bulls, against the Hawks, against the Celtics. When you've been scoring 50, 45, yeah, he was putting them on your back. You knew you need to do the exact same thing. Now, obviously, it's going to take a Hercules effort from everybody. Because Jimmy can drop 50, Jimmy can drop 45, and they'll still lose. You know why? Because nobody's really, helping. They miss a lot of wide open threes, a lot. That could have swung the game around. But they missed a lot of them. So, now they have to go on the road up in Denver to see if they can force a Game 6. So, the way I see it, I see Miami Heat winning this game. Because I don't think they're going to celebrate yet. I think it's going to take Game 6 for them to obviously, okay, but they know what they have to do. The Nuggets know what they have to do. If they want to close it out in 5, they know what they have to do. They have to come in here with the same mindset, play a little bit more physical, Porter is gonna have to step up big because he's been a disappointment in these last two games, and that's it. I mean, if everybody can contribute, we're gonna crown new champions. You know, um, but I believe Miami Heat is going to spoil the Nuggets pre championship celebration. I think it's going to take another game for them to obviously sink in and obviously, come back to reality because they played Friday, right? So they got 2 days off. So they got Saturday and Sunday off and they don't play until Monday. So, it's not going to be an easy task, for Denver to just come with the same mindset, because Miami's playing with backs against the wall. They're playing with no reckless abandon at all, and that's a scary team. That's a scary team to face when you have nothing to lose, you know. But again, if you look at their home games, they're not really good at home. That's what struck me. Like everybody's saying how good Denver is. Yes, Miami Heat did win game two. But you know what was the difference? Miami Heat was actually knocking down most of their shots. I think they were shooting like 57 or 58% from the field, you know? So they was hitting all their shots while Denver was just missing them, you know? So, I mean, it's going to take a Hercules effort to pull this one off again. And I don't know what their record. I don't know what their away record is, Miami Heat, but they pretty good on the road. Like I said, they beaten the Bulls at home. They beaten the Hawks at home. Because obviously the eighth seed have to travel. You know what I'm saying? The eighth seed doesn't really have home court advantage throughout the first two games or so. That's always been the eighth seeds. They never have home court advantage. So for the first two games, they had to obviously, still win on the road, which they did in game two. So hopefully they can do it. But again, Denver's just too deep. Like Jimmy can go for 45, Bam can go for 37, Kyle Lowry could go for 21, Shoots, Vincent, they both can, contribute like 19 apiece. And that's what's gonna take to beat the Nuggets. Hopefully. Because one guy is not gonna cut it. You know what I'm saying? One guy is not gonna cut it. This reminds me of the bubble all over again. Like the Lakers was just too deep. It was just too deep. I mean they Miami Heat had no answer. And another thing is the NBA has to stop making these Cinderella stories. I mean, it's good once in the blue moon to have an eighth seed surprise everybody, but like, come on, this is. I mean, eighth seeds have no business in the playoffs whatsoever, or the play-in, I should say, or the playoffs. You know, but again, it doesn't hurt to have a surprising team. Like everybody expected the playoffs to go as accordingly. Oh, it's going to be Bucks and Celtics, or it's going to be, Nuggets and Celtics, or Bucks and Nuggets, or whatever. And then they throw a curveball at y'all. Like, wow, we didn't expect, you know? Like, that's like an eighth seed in the NFL going all the way to the Super Bowl and winning it. Which could happen, obviously. The NFL had bad teams make the playoffs before, but it was just one and done. Kind of like the 2011 Denver Broncos. When they had Tim Tebow, they beat the number one seed in Pittsburgh at home, and then they got smacked 45-10 against the Patriots. They came down to earth. Now imagine if Tim Tebow defeated now imagine if Tim Tebow defeated the Patriots that year. Yeah, the NFL would lose a lot of money, because that's not what's best for business, right? So, Miami Heat is gonna win. convincingly. I don't know how, but they're gonna find, not even convincingly. They're gonna find a way to win. One thing about Miami is they do not lay low at all. They do not quit. Obviously, ask my Knicks about that. I mean, we did face them, so I mean, they just had more shooters than we did, and that was the downfall for us. We just didn't have enough. But but yeah, the Knicks are. I said the Knicks. The Heat is gonna win Monday night, and they're gonna fly back. Obviously, not really fly, but obviously they're gonna soak it in, and by Game 6, which I predicted, they're gonna win. And your 2023, 24, I should say, because we're heading into 2024. So, our 2023 champions are going to be the Denver Nuggets. Now, the question is, will they repeat? Because obviously they're going to have to sign a lot of players, and most of them they're going to have to let go because of cap space, which obviously there is no cap space in the NBA, but luxury tax and all that stuff. So key players like Gordon, Porter, Brown, Pope, decision making, but obviously they're gonna keep the main two guys, Jamal and Jokic, obviously. But yeah, will they repeat as champions? We all know they're going to be super favorites coming out the West next year, and the next is going to reload again, right? So it's going to be fun. I'm gonna miss basketball. You know, I mean, there is a lot of baseball, but I don't really follow baseball like that. So I mean, there is that USFL, and then there's women's basketball. So there's still sports out there, but I mean, they don't come close to the NBA at all. So like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.